everyone. We want to welcome you today to the We Are Flora Pearl podcast. I'm your host, Latasha J Humphrey, founder of the Flora Pearl Foundation, Incorporated. In a moment, we'll be jumping to this powerful podcast. But before we get started, we want to let our audience know that this podcast is being brought to you by the Flora Pearl Foundation, where our vision is bridging the gap, building a legacy. Our mission is that we are a 501c3, community-focused nonprofit mentoring organization, building healthy relationships and partnerships between women and girls through education, community service, networking, unification, and career planning. Our inspiration is Flora Pearl Humphrey. She was my paternal grandmother, and she taught me and my family a lot about faith, family, and community, and that is where I draw my inspiration from. Audience, I have the pleasure to introduce to you someone who I had the pleasure of meeting a few years back at an event to empower women. She was volunteering her time to help make women feel special and to be honored on that day. By watching her and also getting a chance to speak with her, I have learned that she loves God, her family, and making a difference in the lives of others. She is indeed a blessing and blessed. So without further ado, I introduce to you Key Edwards. Hi, Key. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Excellent. It is such an honor to have you with us. And I just wanted to know if you would go ahead and briefly introduce yourself to our audience.
Hello, audience. I am Key Edwards, owner of Salon Wygs, located in Roebuck, Alabama. It's a pleasure to be here, to be able to spread the information that whatever God lay on my heart to spread with you all. What an honor.
Awesome. Well, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the podcast. And like I said, I mentioned earlier that my grandmother, she taught me a lot about faith, family, and community. And family, I know, is huge for you. And I just wanted you to, just kind of share, why family is so big for you.
Oh, wow. Family is big because, as you said, your grandmother passed down a legacy to you. My grandmother did as well. All we knew was church. My mother as well, my mom and dad are still together to this day, but they taught us the value of family. I can't say I got it right with my first child. I had to get it right, but I could just remember being, in my younger age and just running the street for about 7 years of my son's life. My mom helped me raise him until I just got a wake-up call like he's not going to know you. So I kind of understand, I can understand from different avenues of how it is to want to do your thing and not raise your child you need to get a grip on raising that child.
Yeah.
So I kind of got a grip on that. So now with my last two from my husband, I've learned to take matters in my own hand and kind of bring it back. I didn't lose it. I just had to bring it back. So that was important to me to do.
Yeah. And that's very, very powerful to, even be able to admit that. So, I definitely appreciate you, sharing that, you may have gone through, that challenge or that experience, but you were able to kind of bring it back full circle,
Because I think I read an article this last week about a mother who, was upset because the son made a Mother Day's card for a grandmother and not her. And I kind of, I sympathized and empathized with her on that matter because it happened to me. But instead of me, actually getting upset, wanting to knock him out, I had to look at me and say, wait a minute, you can't get upset. This is who he spent his time with.
Wow.
This is who has his heart for now.
Yeah.
So it made me want to get a grip on my life and just have that love for my son back. So I had to go back and reconstruct and get some things together so that I could build that relationship with him.
Wow. That's major. That's really huge. And you have an opportunity now to, to make it right for right now. Like it's not about your past.
Now.
Yeah.
So, I got him back at the age of 7. So I lost moments, but I didn't delete the moments. I recreated my moments, you know. So you have to get a grip on that. But the enemy will use anything he could to keep us down and depressed. So we have to go another way, go the way he don't expect us to go, and kind of get a grip on it. So
wow,
it's there now.
Awesome. And I know you had mentioned your husband and kind of, your two children, even with him, but I wanted you to really talk about, even as it relates to marriage, how did you meet your husband, and what was that courtship like?
Oh wow, my husband and I met. Oh God, I think I had an interview at the ladies' room, and she said, "Girl, there's so many layers to you." And I just, as I talk over and speak over my life, I'm like, oh my God, I've gone through so much. But I met my husband through a cousin of mine. She was a stylist as well, and I had come down for the summer and walked into a salon that he was in getting his hair done, and it was back in 2000 or 99. We met, and it was just an ongoing process. And in the midst of us meeting, a few years later, he was incarcerated for 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, he was incarcerated for 8 years, but I just can remember God telling me, "This is your husband," and I kept saying, "He can't be." Not behind
right. She's like, what?
Please, Lord,
right.
send this message to the wrong person.
Right.
So I just knew he could not have been talking to me.
Right.
But oh my goodness, when he spoke it, he said, "Because I want to teach you that you can be loved on without being touched. So you're going to write your way into this relationship, because I want this man to get to know you, and I want you to start getting to know men. Everybody that smile isn't for pleasure. It's for ministry most of the time." So that's what he was teaching me, that I didn't have to lay down with every man that smiled at me or complimented me.
Yes.
So he allowed me to write myself into this relationship. And I got to know this man without the physical part, because he was incarcerated now. So all of that had to be done away with. So we wrote ourselves into this relationship, and he showed me, how he could respect me behind bars, and how he didn't expect anything of me, because I couldn't send him money, I couldn't do anything for him, but be a mental support for him.
Right.
So he could respect that. We wrote ourselves into a relationship. We courted. We got to know each other. So when he came home, we knew each other, but there was still more to learn, because anybody can be faithful behind bars. But once you get home, there are tests, that's thrown at you on a daily basis. And we went through our obstacles. No joke.
Yeah.
They want a marriage, but marriage is ministry, And when God said you rather make a vow than to not make a vow than to make one and break it, I had to honor that. So we went through our trials, and we are here today making it, only because, as Travis Green say, God made a way. So it's a lot to it, but we are here. We met, and here we are today, 2 kids later.
Wow.
Making it by the grace of God.
Right. And what were your expectations, kind of, of the roles and responsibilities as you entered into marriage?
My role and responsibility was loyalty.
Okay.
I expected my husband to be who I was to him.
Okay.
And I wanted that. I wanted that back from him. But God had to show me a whole nother role, because I was used to starting something. I didn't like to quit anything. But if you wasn't loyal to me the way I was loyal to you, I walk off from it. I didn't give it a chance, because I didn't have time for foolishness. But God had to show me this one thing. He showed me. He said, "Let me show you how the enemy does." He said, everything you say you don't like, the enemy wrap your don't like into something you need. And he will present it to you. And when he presents it to you, you'll keep denying it, because it's something you don't like, instead of unwrapping it, seeing that it's something that you really need. So I had to take time and dig out my don't likes out of my husband.
Wow.
And while I was digging my don't likes, it allowed me to see me.
Wow.
It allowed me to see my flaws. So after I started seeing my flaws, God said, "No, you can't judge him because you got your own flaws too." So I unwrapped what I didn't like and saw it was everything I needed.
Wow. That's huge. Wow. Oh my.
That's what the enemy does. He'll send a disguise. He'll send everything. And I was just like, I'm not going to tolerate this, and I'm not going to do that. And God said, but for the sake of me, stop putting out there what you don't like. Here's what I gave you. And then your don't likes is in everything I've given you, and you'll deny it.
Wow.
You will miss out on what I got for you. So I stopped saying what I don't like. I say, God, now I say, God, if it's your will, allow it.
Okay.
So everything that come my way, I know he's allowed it. So I take it.
Yeah.
I don't have no boundaries now. So again, it showed me me. It showed me I had my level, not that I can't have expectations, but allow my expectations to be God's expectations.
That's good. And if you could, as it relates to definitely single ladies, especially single ladies, and some men listening, I'm sure they would be blessed as well. But to the single ladies, sometimes the desire to be married, it can become an idol. And I, even for me, I'm a single woman, and there have been times where that was the focus. It was, this is, I think this should be the person, or, just like you were just saying too, you just ministered to me even more. But I got to a place where I am like, I want what God wants for me. I want his best for me and not what Latasha thinks. But there was a time, I'm sure with other single ladies where the becoming married became an idol. And it was basically because you desire what you don't have yet. So it's always, you may want something outside of what you have. And I wanted to know, what's the best piece of advice, Key, that you could give to a woman who's single and she desires to be married one day?
My advice, I stopped giving advice and I give the word now.
Okay.
And to me, because what I go through, others may not go through. Mm-hmm. And all I could say in that matter is, if he treats you with the love of God, it's got to be it. Women know from the beginning they're dating an issue versus somebody that can bless their lives. Right. Because they got the characters of what we like, we'll deal with the issues. And it should be. Because God said he'll give us the desires of our heart. Mm-hmm. So that means if we are walking godly fearing women, and God giving us the desires of our heart, he's giving us a man that's going to love us like he loves us, because he lives in us, right?
You're right.
So all God do is blesses himself through us.
Okay. So
he wouldn't give us anybody that wouldn't reflect who he is to us.
That's a good word.
So that's when I saw my husband loved me. Yeah. My husband, he cherished me, but he had his flaws.
Yeah.
So I drew from that, because I said, God loved me. God would never forsake me. Mm-hmm. God, every day, I can read in his word, him telling me something about me. Yeah. So this got to be it. So if I was to tell a single woman this, if he can't love you the way God loves you, leave it.
That's a good word.
There are no characters. Characters can be, you can build that through the word. Mm. And we can't make a man what we want him to be. We can't, as my husband used to call me, we can't be spiritual police over their lives.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? We can't say, you gonna go to church.
Right.
You gonna do this. He said a wise woman builds her house. And the only way she can build it is allowing her steps to be guided by God.
That's it.
So God, when I stopped doing that, I stopped trying to make him go to church. I just went. I went to church. Mm. And whatever he needed from me, I fell in order with that. You need this done, I'll do this for you. We can't say, I'm not going to do that. You don't go to church. I can't fool with you because no. God said no. Now, ministry start at home first.
Right.
If he needs you, what are you going to do for him? Same with your children. We'll save the world and our house is damaged.
That's a good word.
So what are we going to put aside for our children? Let me take this same time, put it in my family. A man preached yesterday at church. We went to church with my mother-in-law. How do you know you are an honorable mother when your children can call you blessed? Versus saying, I don't want to go to church with her. She ain't that way at home. No. I want the same image I have outside of the ministry inside my house.
Yeah.
So my children can say she's the same way at home. My husband can say I see the same face at home. We have too many faces. So if we can't have one face, how can a man deal with all of our faces?
Wow.
We got too many.
Wow.
So I would say let us work on us. Let us work on being in order.
Yeah.
And being submissive. A lot of folks don't like that word submissive because I didn't.
Right.
I was like, Lord, what am I submitting to?
I know, right? That was me. Right.
I said, Lord, what am I supposed to do with this?
Right.
He says, submit. Even if he don't want to do it, even the mistakes will mature him.
Yeah.
Even his mistakes will mature him.
Yeah.
The thing is, we want to mature him. We got to get out of the way and let the Lord do it.
Yeah.
And if I was a single woman, girl, do you know I would be doing so much? Now you in order. You got to do stuff orderly.
That's
As
right.
a single woman, the only person you have to answer to is your father and God. Right. Now I got to answer to my husband, my father, my children. I got too many people I got to answer to.
Right. Right.
So I would say, honestly, allow God to order your steps, and he will show you. If we keep busy doing God's ministry, like I was doing it.
Right.
If we stay so busy doing God ministry, let me tell you, Adam spent time with God.
That's right.
He didn't never ask God for a wife. He spent time with him, and God knew his heart because he spent time with him.
Wow.
He didn't have to say, this is what I want. He kept so busy doing God's will. God said, you know what? I'm going to make you a woman. And when he took her from his side, that means he was from her. Everything you want is in you. Yeah. Everything you desire is wrapped in you. And I'm going to make it just for you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
I'm going to make
awesome.
it just for you. I didn't find my husband. I walked into my cousin's salon.
Right.
And he wouldn't leave me alone. And then he was incarcerated because God knew what I would have done with that. And it was some unclean stuff.
See. Now, see.
And he took him away and allowed him to learn me. You get what I'm saying?
Yes. And I'm so glad you shared that because there was a time, it's just certain relationships I sabotaged. And they were, I feel like they were good guys, you know, but just when you don't either feel like you're worthy of it because of things in your past or because you haven't seen that modeled really, something healthy, then you can tend to do that. And so for me, that's even, you know, that's exactly what you just said. Like really, Lord, work on me first because you know what I desire to be. And I was talking to a guy friend of mine. I said, I desire to be an asset to my husband. Yeah. Like I don't want to be a liability. You know, we talk about them bringing things to the table. What you bringing? And of course, you know, it's going to match. I believe God puts us together, you know, definitely for ministry, but he's going to match you together with who you're supposed to be with. But you want to be a blessing. Like I want to be a blessing to him.
You will.
You know, and so that, but you confirm, you know, even with that, but I just know, you know, other ladies sometimes they may need to hear it from somebody else because, you know, it could be people in their lives that are trying to tell them the same thing. And sometimes they just don't get it because I can't say before I just got it right then. When different, you know, even my mom or, you know,
I promise you, I probably had so many potential husbands.
Yeah.
But I got it right because even with my husband coming home from prison, he said, don't you sleep with this man. And I kept, I want to marry him if I hadn't slept with him. I don't know, it might be horrible.
Right.
But,
right.
you know, I was like, then we're going to have some other issues in this marriage. But when I say God will honor every request when you do it his way, he kept saying, no. Well, okay, you want that? Give up something from me. Because that's what he told me. He said, we got so many selfish saints who pray and ask me for everything, but they won't give up anything for me.
Yeah.
He said, I don't want you to sleep with them, and I'm going to give them to you. That's what he told me. It was so hard. Awesome. My husband would come over.
Right.
And I used to be like, I said, we not. He used to be like, I ain't, especially when they're not convicted.
Right.
He's talking about, my heart, you my husband. Your heart ain't good enough. You ain't put no ring on it. You ain't doing nothing. I just got to be. Obedience is better than sacrifice.
It is.
And when you're obeying God, yes, he'll forgive you had I slept with him. He would have forgiven me. But I would have sacrificed.
That's right.
But the fact that he said obedience, this is what he told me. He said, faith pleases me, but obedience get my attention.
That's a good word. All right now. That's
and he
good.
takes time off you when you're obedient. Because I didn't lay down with him. Yeah. He took time off me. 2 months later, my husband was going to, we went to the courthouse, well, not to the courthouse, Pastor Mason at the worship center. Okay. Married him. Yeah. It happened. And in the moment we got married, doors started opening. Wow. Because I was willing to be obedient to what God told me to do. That's a good word. And as a single woman, it was hard for me to not lay up with somebody I loved, and I knew that loved me back. But for the sake of God and just being obedient, I had to. And he took that time off me. He didn't let me wait long because he knew me. That's a good word, yeah. He didn't let me wait long, and he took time off, and he granted me my desires.
That grace, yeah, that's beautiful. Oh,
I'm telling you,
thank you.
It's not hard. I think the enemy makes it hard for us. And I was single for a long time, but I never claimed to be single. I used to tell folks I'm married. I don't know who he is. Right. I was confessing it, and now that I'm married, I'm looking like, what did I ask for? Well, because it's still periods in this marriage that you want to run away. We were at the point of getting a divorce. We were. Yeah. I was walking away. I'm like, look, I'm tired of trying. Okay. Until God put me in the same situation I was in with my husband. He always do me like that because he know I could be a judgmental person. Yeah. And he say, I'm going to teach you to have a heart for this. And I was in the same predicament, and my scales dropped off my eyes. I said, I can't judge him anymore. Yeah. I can't judge him in this place anymore. So he allowed my heart to open back up. Perfect. But you will have times you want to give up, even on your children. Yeah. Especially after they get grown and don't really want to obey. You want to give up. But the race is not given to the swift. The swift is those who get there first, or the strong, those who appear to be strong. But those that endure it to the end. Yeah. When I get to heaven, I really want to hear God say, you fought truly a good fight because you didn't give up. Right. You should have. And you could have. Right. So I learned this is not even my life, Miss Tasha. This is not my life. God loaned me this life. That's good. And he said, I don't get to choose. This is what he told me. I cry. I used to be like, Lord, why do you let me go through this? He said, because you're a servant. A servant get to choose the tables they serve or the people that sit at those tables. Your job is to do it with a heart, not murmuring and complaining, and I chose you. He says, so you don't get to choose your battles. I do. You just go through them with grace. Yeah. So I stopped complaining. It's not my life. I'm here to do God's will. I worked for the enemy for years in the club, doing everything under the sun. I ain't complaining to him. Right. So I'm over here. I'm loyal to it, and whatever it is I need to do to make God look good, I'm in the battle. Perfect.
Well, that's awesome, and I thank you again, like I said, for sharing that. And I wanted to really to kind of segue into, you becoming an entrepreneur and just your passion. And one of your many talents is that you are a successful hairstylist. And I wanted you to just share, when did that love for doing hair begin?
Oh, I hope I ministered to somebody that's listening, because I was sitting in, again, there are so many layers of me, but I really want to free somebody. That's why I don't mind telling my stories.
Okay.
I was sitting in my Section 8 apartment.
Okay.
This was before I was even married, husband still incarcerated, boyfriend at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was attending Miles college student, Section 8, Medicaid, on all of it.
Yeah.
And I had started going to church, ended up visiting Mount Canaan, and they was just pumping me with the word. It's just something about when the word get in you. I was still working at Platinum as a waitress down there, making good money.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just out there, just in the street, dating all type of guys, whoever,
Yeah.
to add to the finances. That was me. I was that girl.
Okay.
So I, again, in my Section 8 apartment, I just remember after a good service telling God, I'm tired of this life. What do I need to do? I got limits on me. I need to be doing something else.
Mm.
And I always, I call myself the kitchen titian. I was doing hair in my apartment, but it was just like, it's got to be more than this, because I don't want to just take the limits off. I'm hiding, can't really expose myself because I don't want my benefits to be taken. So I knew it was more, and I just remember God saying, open up a salon. And I'm like, how can I do this? He said, just start your business.
Wow.
I said, okay, I love making wigs, so what do I do? And he ended up giving me the name Salon Wygs. Women, you're gorgeous. Smile.
Wow.
Just drop like that. And I didn't start off opening up my business. I ended up working in a few salons.
Okay.
From there, they was just building me, just working around a lot of women. I was grabbing my confidence from every woman that I worked with. And God pushed me out to open up my own. And here I am today, 10 years later.
Wow.
The struggle was real.
Hey.
Going from level to level, the struggle will still always be real, but it's my determination. I just refuse to let life beat me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I refuse to, so I'm here. 10 years later, owner of Salon Wygs, building other women that have, the same desires as I have, and making women gorgeous. So that's.
Now, what would you say, to other aspiring hairstylists?
Oh, if I would say anything, don't think, just move. Faith without works is dead.
Okay.
You have to get up and make it happen.
Yeah.
Because the battle is between mind and starting, your mind and starting. And it's honestly, we have an event on the 28th of May. It's a business course we're having.
Okay.
So that we just won't start a business. The business can, we want to make sure it's orderly ran appropriately. So I'm inviting a few speakers out to speak to those that are wanting to become business owners or are business owners and just don't know where to start. We don't want to continue to run from the government. We want to see our money during the week. We want to owe the government some money because we've seen our money through the year, within the year.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of people I don't want you to depend on an income tax check.
Right.
I want you to be able to see your fruits within the year so that you can start paying the government quarterly what's due to them.
Okay.
Because this is a lifestyle.
Right.
We shouldn't have to wait to the end of the year for an income tax check. So my heart is there, teaching people how to get their life in order, period, all the way around. God is a God of order. And anything he's involved in, it has to be in order.
That's good. And give that information for your, you said it's your conference, or it's a
business class.
Okay.
It's a business
if
class.
You'll share,
anybody that's listening to this podcast, I will even sponsor 2 tickets for anybody that's serious.
Okay.
You have to be serious and show up, because most of the time I sponsor tickets and there's a no-show.
Okay.
But I would sponsor 2 tickets for anyone who's listening to this show and would like to come. You can give me a call at 205-365-3897. Again, 205-365-3897.
Okay. And where is it going to be located?
It will be at the La Quinta Inn and River Chase. La Quinta Inn and River Chase. It's going to be a powerful event. I have a lady there who, when I started off with her 5 years ago, my credit score was at a 512. Thanks to God, I'm at a 740 now. Last week, something hit that.
Yeah.
And it dropped me to a 666. But I said, all right, those 360s coming for me, but that's all right. We got it taken care of, so we're trying to get it back up, because the enemy heard me telling them how well my credit score had gotten up. And then he sent that bomber, but that's all right.
That's right.
To be honest with them, because I hear myself telling it. I just try. All these people that are going to be at the class are my witnesses to where I am.
Perfect.
Where I am. So I trust them to put them over the people to speak. So it's going to be awesome.
Perfect. And I wanted to segue into the topic about alopecia, and I have to say that I was exposed to that term and the condition itself from watching some of your posts, and it was another hairstylist who he's a male hairstylist who happened to be out of Texas, I believe, and I wanted to know, will you explain to our audience what alopecia is and how you're using your gifts and talents to stand up for those that may be affected by it?
They say alopecia is a disease. I kind of like to call it a condition.
Okay.
And a condition is something that can be maintained, fixed, or dealt with.
Right.
So with alopecia, it's a hair loss condition, and it's normally created by tension or hereditary or medication. The things we partake in our body from food, it can come from various, the lack of vitamin D deficiency, over-processed relaxers, all of this stuff can cause alopecia. So most of us are suffering from it most of the time, and we don't know that's what it is. So it can come from various things. So, yeah, that's about it.
So how are you using? Like I've seen a few things where you went to. Tell us about the experience. Was it a younger little girl or?
Yeah, she was dealing with alopecia, but hers is more of an internal issue. So it doesn't matter what she put on her head. It was just shedding.
Okay.
Bad. So she felt like giving up. She wanted to kill herself, because all of the kids, children don't know what alopecia is, and they just know to joke, because to them it's a coping mechanism to make everybody laugh,
Right.
So we're getting into the point now where we're enlightening students, children, younger age, of what alopecia is, because you're seeing it more frequently, because sometimes it comes from allergic reactions, or you just don't know, eczema in the scalp, or all of this stuff can cause alopecia. So we went to Louisiana. Erica, she's with, what is Erica's salon name? I forgot just that quick. But Erica works, Extreme Studio, thank you, Lord. Extreme Studio, she's a makeup artist, and we packed up, my husband and I, and we went to Louisiana to kind of love on this girl. From Alabama. It was Alabama love. And she was so delighted. Her mom, we are still in contact with each other now, but she was just delighted to have us there, and that is something we're starting now. Actually, the product release is October the 13th and 14th. We have a few artists that will be out. We're still solidifying the contract, so I can't mention names now.
Okay.
But they are coming out, and after that, we are traveling to bless people. We want to hear the stories, and we will choose from the stories which city or town or country, wherever you are, we're coming to bless you. That is something we just want to do. We want to give back in that way and just enlighten them on hair loss, because I'm learning a lot of people don't know much about hair loss. And we want to enlighten them, not just women. Men are out there. They're suffering too.
Yeah.
And it's a big part of their image, so we don't want to leave them out.
Okay.
So we have an avenue for them as well. But we had an awesome time there. We showed our love tour. We are still connected. And it was just a God-ordained thing that he destined me to be a part of.
That's perfect. Awesome. Yeah. And as it relates to community service, because I just believe that's definitely giving back. What are some other ways you're giving back to the community?
We give back most of the time, again, as we go out, and we have some that'll call in and just say, hey, what can you do? And God will just lay it on my heart, because you have to be careful too. Thank God for discernment, because some people will get over on you.
Right. Yeah.
But I've learned that, if God put it on my heart to do it, I am going to do it. And I just always pray, God, don't allow self to get in the way. But we give back to the community by what I just said. We will pack up. If we hear a story, if we know of a story, we will give back. We give away most of our products that we have coming out soon in October. Okay. We give back that type of way. Or anybody that's looking, I just say contact me at Salon Wygs, gmail.com. That's SalonWygs @gmail.com, and just stay attached to our Facebook page, Instagram page. Right. Because we're always posting something, about a story. We need you to tell your story so that we can pack up our team and head your way. That's it.
Perfect. All right. Well, we're going to segue into, it's kind of a fun segment. It's called Mother-Daughter Bonds. And there are a series of questions that I'll ask. And really this gives an opportunity for our guests to share. And the audience basically get to know our guests even more. And so are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What did you want to be when you grew up? Like as a child, when you thought ahead, what was that?
Well, believe it or not, my dad drove trucks, and I actually wanted to be a truck driver. I wanted a purple truck, and I wanted to be a truck driver.
Wow.
I did.
It's like so far away from that, right?
I know, so far away. I guess I'm still traveling, though.
Yeah. Did he ever let you ride with him?
We used to ride out of town with him all the time. We stayed on the road with my dad. Yes, we would go on the weekends with him because he had his little flat bed in the back. And we would just go. So me, of course, stayed on the road with him. I always wanted to go.
Perfect. Cool. Well, what is something that every woman should do, at least try once in her lifetime?
I would say a new style every other week.
Oh, okay.
Some ladies just keep the same old style, and when they come to Salon Wygs, I tell them, especially when they're married, girl, give your husband a new girlfriend.
Ooh, okay. Look.
Being one way, girl, so I turn them out. They can't come to Salon Wygs and stay the same because I turn them out at Salon Wygs.
I think I'm going to have to make me some appointments then, because
I'm telling you, get out of your normal. People that always wear curly hair, I'll try some straight. People that wear straight hair, we try some curly or new color. We just break them out of their shell because that's a comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I don't like comfort zones. I like people to break out, do something different.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay then. I definitely I'm gonna have to follow up then, because I kind of have some of my same. I like curls, and it's so funny because I feel like when I was a little younger, I definitely would do some different stuff. I had my hair red before. I had it short. I mean, just different stuff. But you can, as I guess, become more even conservative, or depending on just life or whatever. It can you can go there where you kind of just, okay, this is convenient, this is how I'm gonna do it, like this, and this is it. But I agree with you, stepping out. So
because we treat our lives the same way we wear our hair.
That's good.
Same old stuff, same old. And because I'm a risk taker in everything.
Yeah.
And my husband would tell you, he'll say, well, dark-skinned girls don't look. I'll come home with just what he said, dark-skinned girls don't look right in, just to show him.
Right.
It's your mindset. Get out of that. So right. No, I take risk in everything. And to me, if I'm not afraid to show up with it and deal with the stares, that's how my life is. I'll take a risk at anything. And it's just overcoming fears and the spirit of wondering what other people would say. And that's what helped me cope with just jumping out there in life.
That's good.
My hairstyles.
Yeah.
Because we have to wear it around. It's on our head. So now it's like I take risk. If you don't like it, I don't care. Right. It's my head.
I love it. I love it. Well, who have been your role models?
Oh, my mother is my role model.
Okay.
I seen my mother, and I want to be like her or better. We would come home from school every day. She worked. She kept a meal on the table.
Mm-hmm.
She kept the house clean. She kept her hair done. And she cooked for my daddy every day and us. So we didn't have to worry about being hungry when we left school because a meal was there. I don't know a day my mom did not cook for us.
Wow.
And the house was clean. Even most of the time she come to my house, she say, you don't have no excuse. I had 5 kids.
Right,
you only have 3, and I still did it.
Right.
She would tell us, stay looking good for your husband.
Okay.
Allow him to see you the same way he met you.
That's good.
Don't ever change that. And that's something I've always stuck with. So my mom is the greatest, and she worked. She worked and was a housewife. Some people think housewives is just being at home all day without a job. No. My mom worked and she was a housewife.
Yeah.
So that always inspired me. So I'm trying to be at least half of the woman she was. And she and my dad are still together to this day.
That's awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the last thing that you binge watched?
What was the last thing again? I didn't hear.
Oh, you binge watched like something, because Netflix, definitely you can sit and watch the different episodes. What's the show, like something, a show that you really like? You sat there and watched all.
I honestly don't, and I know it's sad. I don't watch TV much.
Okay.
I honestly don't. I actually sit in my phone creating new things to come. It's like my life is so busy.
Okay.
And if I had to tell them this, honestly, and I'm not trying to be deep, but God just said, he talked to me. He said, because I'll tell him, I'm so tired. I need to do this. And he remind me of the time I wasted. He said, I give you 24 hours in a day, and you wasted that time doing that.
Ooh.
So, I honestly don't watch TV because I will become consumed. Like, I have to finish a show. I have to finish this. And when I don't have time, it's just the way I'm built. I have to finish things.
Wow.
So I don't watch TV. The most I watch is whatever come across my phone. If it's somebody tagging me in something or whatever.
Okay.
But I don't. I need to start watching the news or something, but I don't. My time is occupied with just doing other things.
Yeah. And you said watching news. To be honest, I don't know about that. Like I know some people are just news junkies, and where they just sit, definitely at night before you get ready to go to bed. But I'm really not, Key. Like, I said, unless it comes across on social media here and there when I see it or somebody tells me about it to maybe go look it up. Because it's so negative now. Like, it's not informative, or it's something you walk away and like, yes, I feel empowered. It's like you walk away like, this world is just over.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's one of the reasons why I didn't, until an older lady set me down and she said, I understand that. She said, but who's praying if you don't know what to...
Oh, well, yeah.
She got together. She was like, well, who's praying?
Like, you need to know something,
issues so we can know what to pray for. So
You're right. I mean,
So when you're a prayer warrior, you carry that stuff.
Yeah, and that's for me. That's why I deal with. Yeah. You're right with that, and it's like I do. I'm an intercessor, so I do pray. But definitely with that stuff, you do have to release it, because it can be where you feel overwhelmed. And so I think for me, sometimes
I don't watch the news until she got me together. I was like, but I still hadn't gotten on it.
I know, right? Like, no.
Like, girl, that ain't my battle, Lord. I don't want to see it.
I know.
But I'm like, it does. It gets depressing. But how would I know what to pray for? Like that article about that mother, I sympathized with her.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, that's definitely a good way to look at it. I think for me, even in hearing her say that, it takes a different it's a different perspective that I have, which is sharing that. So thank you for sharing that.
We have to learn to get people to look at stuff from another view, because they see her act and say, what a bad mother. No, I can sympathize with her, with somebody you birthed and you got 80,000 stretch marks from him, and he want to give your mama a card and
not give you one. Right.
You just got to learn how to turn it positive to say, well, I didn't do my job.
Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah.
It's time for me to get up on whatever I need to get up on and raise my son so that he can love me like he loved her, So it's a lot. We deal with a lot. So
Awesome. Well, this last one for this segment is, what in your life has brought you or given you the greatest satisfaction or fulfillment?
Oh, learning to trust God.
Okay.
I didn't trust him as a Christian. I don't care how much I used to say, I sing the songs, I trust you, I trust you, I trust you. Okay. I didn't until he showed me how to trust him. And now that I have history and trust in him, it's like I live life with such a peace to where nobody can disturb it. Because I've learned, if God has allowed this stuff to happen, from a loved one passing to me losing, if I lost my car or got evicted from my house, anything God takes, he replaces it with something better. So I learned not to worry and just trust that his will for my life, for the plans he has for me, are of good and not of evil. So learning to trust. I'm still learning him to trust him in certain area, but in the area of finances, I trust him. That's it. Learning to trust him with my life, with my children, with everything he has done. My children are getting older. We have older kids from my husband. Yeah. And he worry every day. Are they in the street? I said, you're telling God you don't trust him. Send prayers. Prayer can see him where you can't be.
That's a good word, yeah.
You see a prayer to wrap it around him. Trust God that he's not going to let anything happen to him. And whatever he allow happen is his whipping to grow him up. So I've learned to just trust them, love on them, send them encouraging words, and just let them know we love them despite what's going on in their life.
Awesome.
I've learned. Trust them. That's it.
Awesome. And that kind of, it'll segue into our faith segment. Usually during this time, we allow our guests to share, about a time when their faith was tested and how they came through it. And that's to encourage someone, because I truly believe in you sharing your testimony. That's how others, they can see, okay, it's possible, Yes. And so if you would share a time when your faith was tested.
Oh, my faith was tested in so many ways. It's test after test after test. In my marriage, I was getting ready to get a divorce from jumping off the support before my husband came home.
Mm-hmm.
The Section 8, that was like another boyfriend because it was an income that was being taken care of.
Yeah, yeah.
Down to my children. Just worrying about their daily life. And God said, you're worrying, and now you don't have time to enjoy the life I've given you to enjoy. So either you're going to worry and take time off the life that was given to you, or you're going to trust that the life I gave you, your steps has been ordered and ordained.
That's good.
When you were born and conceived, God had me on his mind.
Yeah.
So the rest of my life has already been ordered. Now, if I choose to go left, there are consequences.
Okay.
But if I choose to do it God's way, he already said, if you seek me first, the kingdom of heaven, and all of my righteousness, everything else will be added. But the thing is, we want all of God's righteousness without getting the relationship with him, without forming a relationship with him. It won't happen.
Yeah.
It won't happen. I remember a lady telling me, anything you obtain in God, you got to stay in him to keep it.
Wow.
So I'm going to change it. Anything you want from God, you got to give him something to receive it.
Wow. That's good.
You got to give him something to receive it. So let's not be selfish. If we want something from him, give him something. And all he asked for was our life. Give it to him.
Yeah. That's good.
It's not going to be easy. It's not easy. It's easy said, but who's not ready for the test? We already got it hard, so we may as well go on, give him whatever it is. He owns everything on this earth. God owns everything. So everything we ever desire is his anyway. That's it.
All right. Well, that sounds good to me. I know someone will definitely be encouraged with that. And so I appreciate you for sharing that. And
thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And we're
I appreciate you. I have to give you your flowers for this opportunity. You are a blessed woman for just allowing the voices to be heard on your radio station.
Yeah, so yeah.
God for your grandmother inspiring you. Thank God that you are here, giving us this opportunity.
Well, I thank you for that. And it's this last segment. It's a closing segment. It's called Matters of the Heart Moment. And so I wanted you to, we started with a few different questions, but the first one is, if you had the opportunity, Key, to speak to your 4-year-old self, what would you say to her?
4-year-old self, learn everything in grade school because it's going to be needed for the rest of your life. That's your start to the finish of whatever it is God had planned for you. But just in case you didn't get it at 4, on up to the years you are now, it's not too late. God has planned for the you now. You might have missed it, but God said it was delayed but not denied. I still have plans for you. You're not too old. You can be 80 years old, and God is still on the throne, so he still have plans for your life. That's it.
Awesome. And who motivates you?
Again, I pull motivation from everybody that's determined. I don't just have one particular person. I'm inspired by those that push and that are there, who've paved the way from where I'm trying to go. So I'm inspired by inspired people.
Okay. All right. What words of wisdom did your mother or your grandmothers or aunts share with you that you would like to share?
Keep God first.
Okay.
My grandmother, she was a minister. She always said, keep God first. My mother always told me, keep God first. And I strayed, but I'm back. And now I'm trying to keep him first.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And do you have any last minute piece of advice you wanted to share?
No advice. Again, I just want to admonish you for the opportunity. You're an awesome woman.
Thank you.
The fact that you make sure you look into the guests you have on your show before inviting them speaks value. Because you want to make sure the right information is going across to your listeners.
Yeah.
And that's important, you know.
Yeah.
You can't be hungry for the light. And when God directs you and guides you, it's something that's going to always be prudent. It's going to be important to the audience.
Yeah.
It's going to be something that God will always admonish. He's going to grow it, and you'll always exist because you're giving them something they need. So I want to just tell you, thank you for the opportunity, and may God continue to bless the show.
I received that. You trying to have me over here crying?
God is good.
Oh, because it's words of encouragement, you know, and just along the way, I was listening to a minister talk about, you know, even with Joshua and how he was with Moses, you know, of course, and saw the different things God did, but even I think in Numbers, and then also in Joshua, you know, of course, God is like, be strong and of good courage. You know, he had to keep repeating, you know, because sometimes, you know, just in the course of you even doing purpose, it still is, you know, you can, doubt tries to creep in, or just, you're not really impacting, you know, you're not really doing what God's purposed you to do, you know. So when genuinely, when people that of substance, because just like you said too, like that's not everybody can have something to say. And I mean, I don't knock whoever wants to say anything, but I just have to be mindful of who he told you you're supposed to be mindful and have those boundaries, you know, and just how you handle business and how you handle purpose, you know. And but when you say, like, for you to say that, I appreciate it, because I know you mean it. You know.
Yes, and don't give up. Something's got to go on.
Yeah.
If you're going to bridge the gap, this is your avenue.
That's
I think we get so caught up with what others are doing when that's not our assignment.
Right.
God put you in this place for a reason, and the enemy is going to get you to do everything to doubt it. But remember the man that was by the pool who said he wanted help.
Yeah.
God troubled the water. He said, it's here for you, but are you going to get, because I'm not bringing the water to you.
Right.
You're in the midst of it. Now, if you really want some help, get your tail up in that water.
Right.
So what he's saying is, we're surrounded by it.
Yeah.
But we'll lose focus of whatever is our condition or what we're not seeing until we forget to just go.
Right.
Get in. Just get in, because faith without works. So the only work God required that man to do was to get in the pool.
That's right.
Because everything else had been ordained for him, around him. So you did it. Don't lose your faith. You're doing it. And God is going to honor it. He's honoring it right now.
Right, yeah. Well, I received that, and like I said, thank you so much again for you being with us today and you sharing. I definitely know that someone is blessed by what has been said, and I'm just grateful. So thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And our goal at the Flora Pearl Foundation is to always be a blessing to all of those that we come in contact with, by operating with the spirit of excellence. Thank you all so much for listening today. And you can visit our website at www.florapearlfoundation.org. We look forward to spending time with you all each week, and we will talk to you soon.